that we did offer completely sold out. Like in many cases before we had a chance to get to a full presentation.
To date, right now, I'm not completely sold out. What you're looking at here is the last of the private collection. It's hand select. It was some of the best of the material that we had. We in this year and late last year, we were privileged to buy 2 private collections that nobody really even knew existed. And the only reason I was able to do that is one of the partners that I'm partnership in a turquoise buying business with, and also in several different business where we attain rough materials and obtain things. He was one of the original. He's from the Chu family. He's one of the original. He was one of the original representatives. In fact, there he is as a young. We have a photo of him. There's Simon. He's on the left, and he's now substantially older. That we'll show you a picture later. But that's when he was a young man. He was probably in his late 20s, early 30s. There he is, early 30s. And those are 2 of the original Americans that went over. That's actually at the Hubei mine in the 70s, in probably the mid to late 70s is when they're all standing there. And those were 3 of the people that actually brought this. This is the what remains of the old Hubei village, and this is where all of the miners lived. This is at the base of the mine. You see that door that they have open up there? Now, if you go in that door, that goes in, opens up, and that's the gallery, and it goes back in the tunnels and back into the mine. That's all closed. That is the door, that's the door that opens up that goes in the mine. As a Westerner, I would not be allowed here right now. I can't go. Back then you could. You could see Simon there. Now, he's quite a bit older, right? But that just shows you the history of this. And you've got Kelly, Simon, Dennis, and then the nephew of the miner, Simon's uncle, who we were able to get this from. We bought 2 actual private collections. The first private collection we got was it wasn't really that big. I mean, it was big enough that we could do a necklace. We were able to do a Today's Special. And the quality was really good, but it was his private stash, his private collection, his retirement account. And then the second one was this one, that this material came out. It really we did a couple projects with it. So we kept the best of the material. The best being the color, the matrix, where we could put it together. There are not thousands of these guys. And I just want to show you something. I don't know if we could focus on this or not. Okay, just to kind of give you a reality on this.
We're counting backwards, by the way, because this is super limited. It's going like hotcakes, and it's featured price. It's brand new. It's the pendant and the matching earrings, and we're both Kate and I are wearing the pendant.
Okay, if you look at this, okay, look at this material. See this Hubei material? The reason I bring this is out of my private collection. Now, when I say this is out of my private collection, this isn't something I attained 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I got these are my samples that I kept from the mid 70s to late 70s, early 80s. This is the material that I was buying, that I was going around and I was selling, and that I was using in my designs. That's how far this material goes back. This isn't something I acquired recently, but I kept it because I knew that eventually that it was going to be collectible and you weren't going to be able to get it. Just as this is collectible. Just because you're seeing Hubei with us now, then I don't want you, especially if you haven't shopped with us, I don't want you to think, oh, well, I can just tune in anytime and Jay's my source for Hubei. Jay won't be your source for Hubei because Jay won't have it. Jay would love to be your permanent source for Hubei Turquoise if I could. Everybody would be. This is antique. They call it antique. It's called vintage. There's a huge history of this. Look it up, okay? Go online, research it. Of course, not everything's true online, I'm not saying that, but there is enough documented research on Hubei, really tells the full story of it. This is not just a China story, this is an American story, right? This is where American miners, American lapidarists,